Good Shabbos. This week's portion is Parshas Korach. This portion tells the story of Korach and his populist rebellion, an insurrection against Moshe and Aaron, his brother, and their leadership. And Korach makes a very simple argument. He says, Ki chola eida kulam kadoshim, all of the congregation are holy, ubesocham Hashem, and God is in their midst. And therefore, why do you feel that you have a right to create an authoritarian regime where only Moshe and Aaron are listened to? They're the leaders. We all are godly. And Moshe himself made this argument before. He said, "Umyiten kol am Hashem neviim." Wouldn't it be good if all of the people were prophets? There's no problem with everyone being a prophet. I'm happy that my students should become as great as I am, and we should all be close to God and create a relationship. And therefore, when Moshe hears Korach's argument, he doesn't get angry right away. It says, Vayishma Moshe. Moshe listens. Vayipal apanav. He falls on his face. In a sense, he's almost praying to God. And he comes up with a solution to try to determine which approach he should take. But the basic argument that Korach makes is one which we all could sympathize with. We all understand that we want to try to give respect to every human being, and that everyone is really banim atem lashem lakechem. We are all children of God, and therefore that everyone deserves certain dignity and certain respect, and we should not be able to deny that respect to a fellow human being. But I think it's important just to understand the fundamentals of this argument and how it plays out in our sort of philosophy of life. And there's three different possibilities the way I see universalism. One is to say that everybody has their own perspective, everybody has their own path in life, everyone sees God or creation or nature from their own particular point, and therefore everybody could be true. It's relativism. There's even such an idea in the Talmud which says, Elu ve'elu divrei Elokim chayim. These and these are the words of the living God. They might not have extended it to the extent that I'm suggesting, but it's basically saying that we all could see God from different perspectives, and there's multiple truths. That's one possibility of universalism. The problem is, do you accept that idea that there's really, everything is just relative, that there's no truths? It's hard to imagine that, especially in our day and age when we know that science has very specific answers to questions. Then we know that certain people are making a mistake. That's in the realm of science. In the realm of philosophy, it could be much more difficult to pin something down as the truth, but the suspicion would be that if there's truth in science, there's truth in a philosophy also. That's a weakness, you could say, in that argument of universalism. Another argument, another way to understand universalism is to say that really a lot of people are making mistakes, but we don't always know the truth. We don't know if it's Judaism or Christianity or Islam or Hinduism or Buddhism is correct, and therefore we have to have respect for everybody's different approach because we don't really know. If we really know something, yes, of course, we have to say you're wrong, and you have no right to your opinion because it's damaging and it's dangerous for the society and for the world. But as long as we don't know, we have to be able to say, okay, everybody has a right to their opinion because we don't know. But that limits it, and it says that there's some people who are certainly off the beaten path, and they are certainly wrong, whether it's some crazy cult or some society that says that murder is allowed. We're going to say, no, there's certain limits to our giving respect to other opinion, and we're not going to be that tolerant. But we're tolerant when we have doubts. That's number two. That's the second approach to universalism. The third approach is to say, no, maybe we are right. Maybe our approach, whichever one it is correct, and everyone else is wrong. But I still want to allow them to have their opinion. In other words, we'll allow you to make a mistake. We're not going to necessarily take away your freedom of choice as long as you don't harm society. Now, there will still be limits, and I think no matter what kind of theory you have in universalism, you have to have certain limits. But there we're saying that really we're correct, whether it's Judaism, Christianity, Islam, it doesn't matter. You're correct, and everybody else is wrong, but we're not necessarily going to destroy you because you made a mistake. And again, the weakness of that is that maybe you're wrong. How do you know you're right? The other party also thinks they're right, and before you know it, you're going to have a clash of civilizations, of cultures, of religions, and nations, and the end is really possible destruction, or possibly the success of one culture or one religion over the others, and then hopefully that religion, that culture, that ideology is the correct one. So these are all the different possibilities of universalism. And the other way is to be particularist and say that no, we are correct and nobody else is right, and therefore everyone else should be destroyed. Or we maybe hold off in doing that, but our purpose and our goal in life is to teach everyone the truth. That maybe we could do it through peaceful means, but ultimately we have to have, it's our ideology, it's our philosophy, it's our religion which is correct. And I think we all have these challenges in life. I'm not going to suggest any solutions because I think many of us are all over the map when it comes to understanding how we really see truth. And it makes a big difference in how we live our lives, how society conducts itself, and how we approach other people. Do we approach them with respect? I think underlying it all, we all feel that we should have respect for other human beings, one way or another. The challenge is how? How do we really see it? It's easy to say we respect everybody, everyone is in the image of God. But ultimately, we have to know whether we really do respect it. Is it a false respect that is only superficial, which might be a correct approach, or is it really a deep felt respect for other people's beliefs? Good Shabbos.